I'm feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving Cloud City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm hunting solo, I'm hunting solo, I'm hunting solo. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight, finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh.
All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Golden Dice Podcast, episode number 63. That is one more than 62. We've made it. We're here at 63.
We're still waiting for that celebration of 60, man, or whatever it is.
Yeah, keep waiting. We'll get there.
You know, they say about 60 episodes, that's the Ruby anniversary of every podcast. It's a key milestone in recorded media.
Look at that. We made it, guys.
Shut up, Flockton.
We're here. Yeah, is it really a milestone if some of those 60 had Flockton on them?
Big true.
Big true.
Big true.
Yeah, I'm going to seize the day into tactical mastery, into hasty exit, into
it's
claim.
hasty exit into seizing territory,
No,
into seizing the day.
you tactical mastery, seize the day, hasty exit, claim.
Yes.
There you go. That's how you win games. Okay, all right, yeah, episode 63. We're here. We got Brian, Flockton, and Eldis with us. How are you guys tonight?
A bit better.
To be back on the cast, it's been a hot minute, and I miss you guys.
Yeah, man, it's been too long. Was Post Worlds? Were you even on Post Worlds?
Oh,
No.
the last thing I did, I think, was the article post Worlds, and I don't think I've actually been on the cast since.
Yeah, that's right. You did do an article. Huh. Episode 55. That was the last time that you were on, it looks like. Scrolling back.
Now we can celebrate, because I'm back.
There we go. And then right after that, episode 55 is when Tommy said he was leaving. So, way to go, Eldis.
You know, I tried to keep him, and he said, no, only if Eldis can be here every single week, every single episode. And, I told him I just couldn't commit to that with my work schedule. And, unsurprisingly, he said, so you mean that's just me, Lockton, Brian, and Jack? I'm out.
And for that reason, I'm out.
He let off with Flockton, though, so that's the important part, honestly.
Jack
For that
does
reason,
ask him
I'm out.
every 2 days or so.
What?
Jack asks Tommy every 2 days goes ready to come back? And Tommy's just like, yeah, nah, man, I don't know. I just don't.
Too busy making another child.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because it's usually a random segue. We'll be talking about Marvel, and I'll be like, yeah, so you coming back? And he's like, no.
I think deep down we're all collectively just waiting for one day for him to be like, hey guys, let's play Destiny. Catch me up on the new set. Catch me on the new stuff, and we'll be very excited. Yeah, man, yeah, absolutely. And then he'll show up and he'll have a perfectly crafted deck ready. He'll say, I was just biding my time.
Brian, with our
Crush us,
extras,
will be great.
we'll just give him a playset when he shows up.
Deal. Done. Anything to get Dad back in the game.
I did tell him, I was like, hey, we're playing Jank on Tuesday nights at my house. So feel free to cut. Because, he would probably come and play Destiny, but the big thing was he couldn't keep up with the meta. And that's why he kind of stepped away from content creation. So I think we can get him to come play.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know if he'll ever be on the cast again or anything like that. But all right, we're coming off a pretty good weekend for Golden Dice. But I want to start off with Mr. J.R. Eldis. Eldis, you were out in Washington, right?
Yeah,
What was
Lacey, Washington at Gabby's, I think Cards and Games? Cards and Comics is the full name. And it was an amazing store. This place was easily the largest game store I've been in just terms of size. It was basically a warehouse.
Oh, well.
And it had a built-up second floor where we played. So the entire first floor was product. And it had comics, it had board games, it had RPG stuff, it had tons of pops and figures, and it had card games, and had model kits and supplies, and it was really cool. It was a great time.
That's awesome. Dice Commando, I believe, did a interview type thing before the Swiss started, just kind of asking people what they're playing, how they're feeling. And at one point, I saw you walk by in the background. I was like, "There's my boy." There he is.
Yeah, I saw them talking to folks.
Yeah, but they mostly talked to, I think, who had goes to their store on a weekly basis and like asking them. So don't be offended. It's all
Yeah,
right.
it was around like shortly after deck registration, and I think after like round 1 or so, where some people came up, and including the judge, Kenton Matos, who I took down his name because he was an absolute delight. And a huge shout out to him, Kenton, for being an awesome judge and for being super friendly and welcoming. And he was like, Are you the one from Golden Dice Podcast? I was like, Yep. He's like, "You from the East Coast?" I was like, Yeah. He's like, Wow, you definitely have the award for coming out the furthest. I was like, I would guess so, yeah.
Well, I thought it was funny that like me, Flogging, and Brian got up. We're driving, and also keep in mind like we left at 6, which was 3 a.m. local for you. So you didn't get up for your prime until we were like well into our drive. And you're like, all right, it's Prime Day, boys. We're like, what? You're like, yeah. I'm going to the one, ironically, the only one I've been to, and it's like 3,000 miles away or however far Washington is.
Yeah, just like 2,900 or so.
Yeah.
And yeah, people were asking me, almost with a little bit of like fear, like, did you come out here for this? Like, was I an absolute madman and flew out to Lacey, Washington for a prime? I told them no, I'm visiting a good buddy of mine who is also a Star Wars nerd, of course. And he was like, hey, while you're here, just so happens to be a prime. And I was like, all right, sure, let's
Go
go.
see you play?
Yeah.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah, instead of riding with us down to Virginia, you flew out to Washington. That's what you wanted.
yeah, I was like, I don't want to drive to Virginia. What a chore. Let me fly to Lacey, Washington.
Perfect.
Let me fly to Seattle.
So how did
That's
that
much better.
how'd the whole event go? Like how was you enjoyed the crowd? You said they were really welcoming the people there.
Yeah, everyone was very friendly. The one of the larger contingencies, the Cloud City Rollers, they have a pretty large presence, and sort of it gave me like I sort of think they have a kind of like a conglomerate vibe, like they sort of dominate the state. There's different like groups here and there, but they sort of are all like a big Dice City Roller family, from what it sounded like.
Gotcha.
And they gave me some swag just for coming out, which I really appreciated. They gave me a really nice looking mat and I think like a power action token that I think almost looks like something from the old LCG, and it had the flip sides of like light side, dark side, which is really nice.
Nice.
Which was cool. I got a stack of promos. And yeah, I mean it was just a great time. And I think what helped make it even better was this just sort of relaxed vibe I had going into it. Because like I said, it just so happened to be there while I was out on vacation. And I was like, we could go, we could not go, and then we went. And then it just sort of permeated the day, just this sort of like relaxed vibe, which I think really helped.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now walk us through you ran Raylo, correct?
Did run Raylo because I am super lazy about deck building and only brought like a bare minimum of cards, so I just had that deck plus a very defunct droids deck that I cobbled together and gave to my buddy Matt to play. And God bless him, he had a great time anyway, despite it being a rough time for him because we're talking Satine droids, so this is an extremely defunct deck. One that I had built for Gen Con's meta.
Okay.
Which is basically the Stone Ages at this point.
Yeah.
And he still had a good time. But yeah, Raylo, I don't think I changed maybe 1 or 2 cards in it since I piloted it at Worlds. And actually I made 2 hot changes. This one was I got in the R2 support.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's been a good call.
Swap that in. Yeah, it absolutely was 100%. It was a huge addition. And I changed the upgrade suite around to what's it called? Cross guard. 1 dagger, 1 raised saber. I did have the spicy one of Untamed Might, right? What's the name of it?
Power. Untamed Power.
So a lot of the special chaining upgrades,
Nice.
and it felt good. And I managed to avoid what in my mind is one of my harder matchups, which is droids. Because if they roll well, which they don't necessarily even have to because of the power of R2, but if they roll well on top of that and get their mitigation going, it's just they bomb you out, they kill your character, and then you just get buried in removal.
Was the first one that you played the one that you played in finals?
I had played him round 6 of Swiss. We were both 5-0 at that point, so I was like, well, this is nice. I get to face what I feel is my worst matchup late, which was good. And then I met him again in finals where he won 1-2. Or I went 1-2 against him.
Yeah.
So, I did get the win out of one game, which was nice. That felt fine. Not getting swept by it is always a plus. Got him on a spicy treasured lightsaber chained from R2 combo.
Oh, nice. Draw the card back into
3. Yeah, 3. He had 3 health on 3PO and shields, and I had 4 cards in hand. He was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Yep. It would only do 2 damage right now." And then I resolved specials, drew my card, turned a die, dealt 3 unblockable. He was like, "Ah." He was a great player. He was very pensive and thoughtful, and made, in my mind, all the right decisions as he went. So, kudos to him. He definitely earned that win for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. But he already has his world seat. Where did he get it from?
I neglected to ask him. It was mentioned to me before the final started that he already had his world seat, so that would be passing down regardless. I was like, oh, sweet. So we're just putting for Matt.
Yeah.
Which, I was okay with my top 8 man. I'll take it. So and honestly that was a great relief too, because not that I didn't care about winning the prime, but at that point I was like, you know what? I've made it this far. I did not expect to. I'm already having a good time. I'm already pretty relaxed going into this thing, and that just made it even easier. Just a nice as you can get finals at a prime experience.
Oh, mine was great,
So
though. I liked mine.
It was great.
Mine,
Block Daddy, right?
Mine was nice and relaxed, too. Nice and easy.
Easy win.
Yeah. I didn't even do anything, honestly.
Honestly, it was painful to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Minion was the TO, and at one point he was like, "Jack, are you gonna let him play the game?" I was like, "Nah."
He did some dirty stuff.
Yeah, turn one.
Did you just jam Del Fist every time and just
No,
crush him,
no.
No, I paid for the whole thing one time.
Yeah, the one time
Wow.
I paid for it.
Well, no, sorry, I won't say anything yet. I want to spoil it.
Won't split. Ellis, anything before we get, because we could, start talking about how much I shoved Flockton into the ground.
yeah, I
anything
guess
else
just
I'm watching?
final shout-outs. Shout-outs to Gabby's. Shout-out to the Cloud City Rollers. Shout-out to the Seattle community. They were super friendly and welcoming. Shout-out to Kenton Matos, the judge. Again, he was great. And shout-outs to my buddy for driving us there and then having a good time, even though he got stomped all day.
There you go.
Same.
A jank deck that I had lying around.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, on our ride home, man, we found out you were in top 8 and then top 4 and then finals. I was like, Flockton, update me. I was driving, so I couldn't, watch myself. And then they took the stream
I had it
down.
on stream.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was doing play-by-play commentary.
Yeah, but then they took it down. They had to go. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, they had. I think they ran out of space on their, the camera they were using, so they had to switch over and record it.
Well, the one that Eldis was on, they went home. There was the Dice of Failure. I think they left.
Oh, that's okay.
But I think
That makes
Dice
sense.
Commanders is the one that recorded the finals, I guess, for you.
I think so. I mean, actually, I think that was Kenton's personal camcorder.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know them. But
Yeah, it was whenever you were playing the Plowalks game.
That was top 4.
And that was top 4.
Yeah, it cut off in that game. After,
That
like,
was.
I don't think he even finished the first game. They cut it off like almost
Nope.
towards the end of the first game.
I
Yeah.
want to say that first game was a real. Was the first or the second game was an absolute grinder. I think it was the second game because.
Yeah, the first game looked like you were pretty set.
Oh, it was that first one. Yeah, that second one he dealt 12 indirect round 1, and I was like, well, probably not winning this one. And then I managed to get out of it with both characters alive, with like 1 health on Kylo and 2 health on Rey. So that was an absolute
Wow.
grindhouse of a game.
That's awesome.
I mean, luckily it's a matchup I feel pretty comfortable with, which helped. But I think it was either it might have been the one where I got the first turn mind extraction again.
Yes, that was that was game
huge...
1.
Okay, yeah, game 2 I did not get that, so Plo got in there pretty hard and went hard in the paint. But I think I had around like 3 or 4. I ended up resolving Rey special like 2 or 3 times, and that's pretty essential in that matchup. And it just kind of slammed the door.
Yeah, man. I'm proud of you, dude. Going over there, not practicing much, dude. East Coast shows up and makes finals without playing.
Yeah.
But cool. All right, so me, Flockton, and Brian went to Virginia to, what was it, Atlantis Games and Comics?
Yep.
I think was the name of it. Across the street was the world's slowest KFC Taco Bell in the world.
Bruh.
Slowest.
I was there for 45
I was
minutes.
going to say, it was like a 40-minute wait. I had to, like, message Minion while we were sitting there. I was like, hey,
They
we're
gave me
still
a free
here.
lemon cake,
But
but it took so long.
Yeah.
What?
They gave me a free lemon cake.
Oh,
They're
sweet.
like, you've been here for like a long time. I was like, it's like a casual 45 minutes. And they're like, take a lemon cake. And I was like, thanks. And I gave it away.
Yeah. I wouldn't really want a lemon cake from KFC Taco Bell.
I had no interest.
Yeah.
You could have eaten it at the counter.
An avocado. Thanks.
So yeah, we went there. It was like a 4.5 hour drive. Really not too bad. Didn't feel as long as it was, but we went down. I ran Afra with Elite Grievous and Messenger. Flockton, you ran the Snoke and M&M's deck, and Brian ran Palpwato. How'd you guys like the store? Like, I thought the store borderline, like, I kind of liked it, but then also just kind of felt dirty at certain parts. But it was also like, if that was my home store, I feel like it'd be all right.
Yeah, it was fine. It was nice and big and open. Just the table like covers looked like they needed to be like put through a wash. But
Yeah.
other than that, I thought it was nice and big. Like the upstairs was nice and open, plenty of room, and then downstairs was nice and fine.
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, I don't know if we can be picky about local game stores for us, but
What is a local store? I don't think we have one of those.
it's my basement. You can't leave until you
Oh,
win
yeah.
a game, Brian. I'm waiting for you to leave.
Pound for pound, the
I haven't seen my family.
stores here in Seattle have been absolutely ridiculous.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, really impressive stuff. There's a place, 2 places called Mox, aka Card Kingdom. They are like full on card stores with gaming areas, tournament areas, and like functional restaurants and bars attached.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful. They're beautifully designed, like really nice looking interiors. And then of course Gabby's was tremendous. There's another place called Meebles around here. This is real nice. I mean, it's been absolutely ridiculous here. Like, I couldn't imagine if one of these was my local store. I'd feel so spoiled.
Yeah. All right, Brian, you want to kick us off? How'd your day go?
Let's get out of the way real quick. So I said in the Discord, I played, like we just said, I played Palpwato, and it's the deck that I feel most comfortable with. It's the deck that I run the most. I felt like I played pretty well, considering my matchups were pretty rough all day. I started out with Elite Satine, Naboo, guard. That was a close one, and that could punch some damage pretty quick. I took that one, and it was like time. I think we were at the end of the round. I just killed him at the call of time. Second round, I ran into droids. I think it was chopper droids, and that's just a hard matchup. Chopper Faithful, who ended up going undefeated in Swiss and then getting knocked out by Big Flock Daddy. And that's a tough matchup for Palpatine, especially since I start with 10 and he can smack me for, a large chunk of that to start, and there's nothing I can really do to stop him. I got pretty close, and at one point he killed Palpatine, and I was like, wait a minute, let me just think about this real quick, because usually the order of operations is if then Palpatine dies, you scoop. Like, there's no reason to play unless you're flocked in and you want to drop a forbidden lore for Watto to not use.
Dude, game changer.
So, yeah, big game changer. So what I did was I dropped a Palp Saber on Watto, and it was close. Like, I dropped Palp Saber, and then I had free for all in my hand. So if I found like bartering, I could maybe. I was like one short if I free for alled. So he got me, unfortunately, and that was a tough one. The next was the strangest game of Vader I've ever played in my whole life. It was Fighting Pits Vader, and he made some ballsy decisions. Like, first turn, he killed Watto, and I was like, all right, that's fine. I kind of clawed my way back, but he used Fighting Pits at the strangest times, and he's like kind of balls to the wall YOLO kind of thing, which is cool to see. I took that one just barely. And then the next one, Flockton got the pair down into me, and that's a tough matchup for me as well. But I think I played that one pretty tight. There's just not much I can do. That deck turns out so much damage and so many dice. So I did lose to Flock round 4, and then round 5 I played a nice gentleman who was playing Vader again, so another tough matchup. And that one I thought I was safe. I had a back in my hand. I didn't anticipate him because he wasn't showing damage. I was kind of doing my own thing with specials and the 4 storms and the shields and blah blah blah. But he unpredictable into a 4-for-1, and then ambush action resulted to kill Palpatine. And I was like, all right, well, it's the last round of the day. I'm not even gonna bother with the Watto shenanigans. That one's pretty close as well. But so I went 2 and 3 on the day. I guess that's why they call it unpredictable. But I sure didn't see that coming.
Not predicted. Yeah.
Yeah. It was tough. So. Yeah, it always sucks that I travel to these things and kind of just miss a little bit. I was 11th this time again, and but it's good to see my teammates being first and second at the end of the day. So it's worth the trip. But let's move on to the important things people want to listen to, which is Flockton and Jack's day.
Flock Daddy, you want to take yours?
Yeah, sure. So, I ran the Snoke with the Super Commando and the Mud Trooper. I find that deck super fun. I love that it can pop off easily turn 1. So my first game was against a Jango Phasma. And I always have this rare occurrence of playing people that like haven't played much before round 1. So the person I was playing, she was like super nervous. She was like, I haven't played in like months at a tournament, and she was like super nervous. So I was like, trying to calm her down, everything, but like, and help her out with some stuff, whatever. Maybe it was a little too nice because the game was really, really close to where we ended up going to time, and I won by 2 damage. Yeah. So
let me be the nice guy. Let me be helping.
I was like, we want to go back. We'll go back. We'll try this because I was like trying to help her out and everything. And
let me get my.
It almost shot me in the foot. But pull that one out. Yeah, she got like 2 Bactas off on Django for 5 and like 2 armor platings. It was nuts. So I got that win after going to time. Then I played.
Do you think that maybe she like sharked you?
No, I didn't think about that until like I was driving home. I was like, that's actually a pretty good play. Maybe you can find someone that's super nice like me and then try to take advantage of them. But yeah, and then the next game. What's up?
Like, find someone who's like just so giving and selfless, like I am.
Yeah,
the most humble person I know, honestly.
Yes, I am. Big true.
Hashtag humble brag.
Round 2, I played the same Vader Greedo that Brian came down to the wire with. So I was just able to turn 2 kill Palpatine. Was able to snipe him off. I got my power actions off. He couldn't remove any of the non-unique character dice, and so it pump out a lot of damage. Game 3, I played Palpuato deck. I was able to kill Palp turn 2 early on turn 2. I got lucky with my rolls, my Super Commando. I rolled it out into a 2 ranged. I believe he what did he do? He blanked it, and I was able to re-roll it back into the 2 range. And then he doubted it, and then it went back to the 2 ranged. So I got super lucky with that, and then I activated Mud Trooper and did power action, got the 4 damage off with the Mud Trooper, and was able to hit him pretty hard there. Knocked Palp off really early, and that was pretty much over with. And then next round I played Brian. Was really close for Palp. Only having how many upgrades did you have? You only had like
6.
You had what?
No,
You had
right?
3. You had 3. I think you had 13 health because you had a Force Storm and like maybe like bartering and something else.
Yeah, I
And-
opened up with 2 Bactas in my hand
Yeah,
after the mulligan.
I came really close because I didn't see any of my removal, and you just kept getting your Force Storm to do special, and then 3 ranged. It was really close, really close. But able to sneak off because this Snoke deck's just really good, just powering down damage. And then the last round, I played a Chopper Droids deck. The Snoke deck should really, in the games I played, Snoke really kind of does really well against the Droids deck. I'm not really sure why, but I've never really had much of an issue with it playing against it. But he literally saw in the Swiss game, he saw everything he needed to see turn 1 and was able to snipe off the commando droid like early turn 2, and that really hurt me. Usually it's fine if I can like trade. Like I'm okay with one of my non-uniques dying early as long as I can kill like R2 quickly enough. But I was not able to kill Chopper early enough, and it came down to the wire. It literally came down to him having to. I forget, he had to instigate to get the damage or something like that to win for the win, but it was really close and definitely was good. Good game.
And then that was who you played in Top Cut, right?
Yes, and then I played him in Top Cut, and I won the first game. He won the second game, and then I won the third game, and I got kind of lucky. I made a mistake. I activated my Imperial Officer, and I did the reroll with the Mud Trooper, but I did not turn a die. And then I forget what he did, but then I didn't have lethal damage, and he claimed. Oh, he claimed.
No, he didn't.
He didn't claim?
No, that was
he
the
didn't
thing
claim.
because
He should have
rerolled.
claimed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I discarded the reroll with the Bendu's on a 2 indirect, and I rerolled all the other dice, and he did exactly 7 damage, and I got five more damage out of my dice. And if he would have just claimed, Bendu's Lair would have been out of play, and then I would have been at 5 damage instead of 7.
Yep.
But he just kind of was like, yeah, I can't stop it, and shook my hand. And I didn't realize till his buddy, after we were picking everything up, he goes, dude, if you claim, you win that one. But I also, if I don't, he made the mistake, but I also made the mistake of not turning the die with the Imperial Officer, which I didn't forget all day until that one situation.
Right.
I was sitting there, I'm like, all right, what die do I re-roll?
Shit.
What die do I re-roll? And I completely forgot about the Imperial Officer die flip. But yeah, I really like the Imperial Officer in the deck.
Yeah, it was a good ad.
I really, really freaking love it. It's so good. It makes the deck a lot more consistent.
Yeah. Cool.
And then you can talk about the finals. I don't want to talk about it. I
Um,
don't.
Well, so backtracking, I ran, like I said, Elite Grievous, Aphra, Messenger. Brian can attest that we haven't tested anything in a while. I've been playing Forlom Zuckuss for a while.
And playing it wrong, too.
Playing it wrong. Who knew that said discard at the end of his text? But, so yeah. But I have played Aphra a bunch during the sad days, and then I also played the 3-die version during Just Convergence. So I was comfortable playing her. And Delphist, it seemed like the most consistent deck, so I brought that. Round 1, I play against a Jabba Watt Messenger AR deck, so 3 dice with AR. It went really well for me and poorly for him. I opened up with BT 000 and 2 Desperate Measures. So he delved in a planetary bombardment, and I Desperate Measured it. And then he AR'd a Hellfire tank, and I Desperate Measured it. And keep in mind, I got to deal an indirect back each time and draw, so it was great. So he just didn't get a board state. Like, he got, like, TIE Fighters or something out, but those aren't really powerful dice, so... so that kind of went my way. relatively easy just because of the insane opening of those 4 cards. Then I played Todd from Knights of Ren. It was a mirror match, except he had Afra Elite instead of Grievous. And I basically found my droid setup, but he didn't get much going for him. Eventually, he got out like a fist and a Mega Blaster and pulled it real close. But the last round, I had claimed, and so I had like a few actions on him. So like I rolled out BT, did 2, and then I only needed like 1 more damage to kill. So I had my Assassin Droid in hand, but I also had like a Dangerous Maneuver or something, so that kind of closed it out. But that was really tight. Fist kind of crawled him back in that. Obviously, just a really good card. Next, I played the Undefeated Chopper player and lost to him. In 3 rounds, I only saw 2 Assassin Droids and 1 000. So I just didn't really see anything that I needed to see. And Afra's obviously drawing more. I didn't see a lot of my cycle cards, so that was just pretty tough. And he was just turning out damage and played it really well. Then I played another Chopper Droids, and this was what I expected, where I Del Fist and win, because that droids don't really have too much of an answer for Del Fist unless they like specifically tech against it. But if I play around Flea, I think my win percentage is relatively high. But each time I get Fleet, it goes down a significant amount.
Yeah.
And then last round, I played against Palpuato. The interesting part was he was on Occupied City, which actually ended up screwing him over because then I claimed, and he played a bunch of stuff and he milled his Bactas. So that did him dirty. Eventually he played like Darth Vader's chamber thing and put it on the bottom of the deck, but like that's it's gonna be a while to see that. So yeah, it got pretty crazy. He got like a 1-6 discard on my Scorched Earth, and I thought that was the game. Like him taking it, that's my win con against Palp, really. But him just not seeing the Bactas, and I generally controlled Palp's dice to keep Fatal Blow off. Just crash landings and automated defenses and stuff like that to keep him off that. Got me there, and yeah, I killed Watto relatively quick just to turn off DM, so I didn't have to play that game. And yeah. And then Top Cut played Chopper again. This was neither of the players that I played previously, and that went 2-0. The first game was super in my favor. Second game was a little closer, but Fist came out in both games and did what it can do. Like there was a crazy play where eventually I like baited him into claiming, and I still had 4 dice out. I had a Fist, a BT, a 000, and a Messenger die, and the Fist was on a paid 3. The 000 was on a 2 melee, BT was on like a blank or disrupt or something, and then the Messenger was on a focus. So then I focused into 3-for-1. Chopper had 6 health left, R2 had 2, and 3PO had like 2 damage on him. So then I know good to be dead 3PO, and then I kill Chopper, and then I kill R2, and then he just has a naked 3PO sitting there. And so that felt pretty good.
That blew me out in Swiss.
It
had like the 4-for-1. Yeah, I had like the 3-for-1 on a 2-for-1 probably from 000.
Yeah. It's dirty.
And then had no money, and I was like, all right, I'll claim. And I had like 4 left on Rey and like something left on Kylo. And he had no money, and I was like, cool, I'll claim. And he was like, all right, no good to be dead. Heal Kylo 2, murder Rey. And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it's pretty busted still. And doing stuff like No Good to Be Dead into Delve Fist was pretty busted. And Delving Fist with Afra and 000 is like literally the most broken thing in the world. Like Delve Fist is good on its own, as we've talked about, but like adding Afra with 000, I draw a card and get to deal you an indirect. Like I'll take that all day.
So we never have to see it again.
I actually beat. I don't remember who. But there was
It was Flockton.
It was a Flockton.
You dropped Delphus and killed... you delved Assassin Droid and then killed Flockton off the one...
Yeah, Flock had 1 health left, so I dealt an Assassin Droid to kill him. So that was game 1. But
Monster.
I mean, mind you could have just played the Assassin Droid then activated to kill me. No, you needed to just, toy with me and delve Assassin Droid to kill me with the indirect.
Well, did you have 000 out or BT? Because if you dealt that indirect from Delve, that's relevant.
It was I had 000. That's why the Delve killed him. But yeah, I just wanted to kill you. I didn't want to give you an option to do anything.
Yeah, because you were really,
I was really
really were
nervous.
scared. Yes, really nervous.
I would be interested in seeing how this matchup, like more of it, just because Afra has so much removal. Even if I'm still taking damage, just preventing a Snoke power action is relevant. Like I'll gladly crash landing the Mud Trooper die, so you can't power action and stuff like that. And there was like the games were close, but then I got to like delve fist and I did 10 damage casually. Actually, no, I didn't even
yeah.
delve it. That was the game where I actually just
Oh,
straight
yeah,
up played
you
it.
paid for it full out.
I know it was awful.
It's
Yeah, it was
terrible.
hard to watch.
It was
As
not
the only
fun.
one left in the room, it was hard to watch.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean that was how that game went. I mean it was just really, I was stoked in top 4 when I knew it would be me and Flockton, and that one of us was going home with a world seat, and
The other one was going home sad. Yep. You were super excited.
yep.
Yeah.
I'd rather guarantee that one of us gets it than chance it to somebody else getting it.
Oh
Flockton.
yeah, big true.
Come on, Flock.
But yeah,
Yeah, be a team player, Flockton.
But you crushed my dreams.
it was cool though too that we both beat Chopper to get in.
Yeah.
Chopper was really crushing it in Swiss, and we did
Yeah,
again.
definitely.
It was a cut to top 4. There were 21 people there, so a smaller cut, which kind of feels bad. But Flock and I think I was 3 or 4, or vice versa, or something along.
Yeah, you were 3, I was 4.
Yeah, that's right, because you played the top seed. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that, and yeah, things went my way, and just kind of went well. But it was a good showing all around for Golden Dice. I was stoked to have 3 of us in finals, 2 at the same store, and Eldis over in Washington, or it's Portland. I keep calling it.
I was just happy to be there.
You were there for your hearty laugh, your wheeze.
Yep.
that you gave us all the way.
You said you guys had 21. I think we had 44.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It was a really good turnout.
Yeah, it was a big one.
Wait, so Brian, how many shinies did you catch?
That day, I caught one. That day. I got a shiny Growlithe that day, so I was okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Brian was out here actually winning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
he was really
who's the
well.
real winner here? Because I got a shiny Arcanine now.
Proud
It's
of
still you guys. I'm sad.
you.
Brian, I will give you my world's invite if you can
That's
give me a
okay.
shiny Amber.
Deal. I'll work on that. I actually do that at my lunch break. I sit and I shiny hunt.
Eldis, are you going to plan to go to Worlds?
Absolutely.
Dope. All right. I mean, I don't really have anything else to say. It's not overly relevant. The meta results on that. We talked about what got hit, what didn't, and stuff last week, and overarching things of how we still think supports will still be there. I think Afra will still be there. Droids will still be there. Snoke, Mando Mud didn't get hit at all.
Yeah, not at all. I can still play Theed. Nice.
Yeah, so there's still some good play within it. Some of these decks are going to stick around. They'll just kind of adjust. Like I want to try out Afra with Hailfires and Pods, back to that core combo it had before. So,
Yeah. Droids will just go to 5 die.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that certainly makes stuff relevant too. Like droids, even like some of the decks where they need to kill stuff fast, it's going to be harder for them to do. Like they're not going to be able to snipe Palp as fast, or where Flockton ran into that situation of them killing him a little bit too quick. That's going to not happen. They'll be able to ramp and probably will go the long game more, but it'll be interesting to see how they adjust if they do supports and stuff now. But
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, I imagine what would be the 2 die 3PO is almost guaranteed to be.
what's it? Focus, resource, shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See them going to maybe even like more aggressive upgrades.
Yeah.
Or a few like key supports in there.
Yeah, I know a lot of them, like they had been bouncing and back and forth between like Fickles, Crates, and Hired Muscles and stuff, so you could see more of that. And then, how much is DM going to be in the meta? Because if it fades away a little bit, then Entourage can make an appearance again, but it's like a ramp support, so it's kind of DM really, really messes that up. But yeah, so meta's gone. It's over. This was the last weekend of it, so we've got some coming up. I think we only have one this upcoming weekend on the 21st, and then we only have one on the 28th. So really, no meta is really going to be coming in. But I'm excited to kind of see what some of these rule references, these changes, balance of the force and all, really have an effect on the game. So we'll get in and talk about what we've been playing. I know Brian and I have had the chance to use the rules reference updates a lot. I'm not sure if Flock and Eldis have, but Eldis, you also missed our last cast. So I don't know if there's anything you want to specifically shout out from the update. Whether it's something on the restricted list that you're excited to see pan out, or like some of these Balance of the Force, which can be a little bit more exciting to see some of these old characters come back. And I don't know, just any thoughts that you wanted to touch on?
Yeah, I think the restricted list has some great and necessary hits. Hitting Delphist is essential. Hitting Faithful Companions feels great. And I think seeing Resistance Ring and No Answer like kind of proactively done to make sure Mill just doesn't fill in the void of what would be an otherwise kind of wide open meta. Just so it doesn't come in and just dominate, even though maybe preemptive. I don't know. But that's fine, because I know in this game more than others, and in this community more than others, Mill is pretty loathed. So I'm if it makes people happy, if it keeps meta going, keeps people playing the game, I'm fine by it. That being said, I think the most exciting stuff is definitely in the Balance of the Force. Specifically, I really like Legacy's Finn at 11-14. He's got a great die, a really good die, an aggressive die. And seeing that at 14 points, he's got a ton of cool partners that he can go with. Even the new Zeb, and then you get a juicy 2-point plot. And maybe you could double down, play some really good removal, or get another key, powerful, aggressive upgrade in there. It really, really does have some cool options for these characters that I think are great on paper, but never had the point cost to get them good partners to make viable decks.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, you hit Finn, man. I'm excited about him. That's who I got to play a little bit with so far. Flock, have you had a chance at all to play with the Balance of the Force updates?
Yeah, didn't go too well.
What'd you play with?
So I came home from work and I didn't know what to do. I'm just like, I want to play Talzin. So I put Talzin on.
Wow,
I was like, what's a good...
shocker.
I was like, shocker, right? So I was like, what's a good pairing? I'm like, I want to try one of the newer characters. So I was like, let me try Tickle Me Jabba. And then I put a First Order Stormtrooper in there. And then I was like, let me try a whole bunch of one-cost upgrades that have specials on it. So I had like Malice in there, Unpredictable, or not Unpredictable, all the one-cost yellow one. What's that? Unscrupulous, I think I put in there.
Yep.
And some other one-cost. And then I put Two Fists and Umberin hover, or the Umberin hover tank in there. And just like tried to get that thing going. Didn't go out too well. I do like the Tickle Me Jabba card. Like his die is just so good. And for 14 points now, like 50%, like I don't know. I see him in a fist deck because 50% damage you're going to be able to get a 50% chance you're going to get the money to resolve the fist die or the 2 focus to turn it. Really, really like it. So I see maybe Tickle Me Jabba not making a deck around so much the special indirect, but more so using that as like, getting 2 or 3 indirect, but also using it mostly for the 2 focus and the $2 bills and 12 health. I really like a lot.
I have to ask, why is he dubbed the Tickle Me Jabba? Is it because he's got such a sweet childlike expression on his face?
Isn't it because it's like Bib
the art?
Fortuna's like in the background looks like he's about to tickle. He's tickling him.
Yeah,
He's
that's
like
it.
laughing. Yeah.
Yeah, Bib's creeping up behind to tickle him.
Sweetie, I'm gonna tickle that booty.
Yeah. So I went 0-3 at my weekly.
Smile.
0-3, look at that.
0-3. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I did play against whatchamacallit. I did play against DJ Maul. That one seems annoying to play against, but I think once you snipe off DJ, it's pretty much like you pretty much have the game if you can kill DJ.
Is that one die DJ or one die Maul?
There
no, Maul got hit.
I'm
so
sorry,
it's
I was
4 dice
thinking,
start.
I was thinking of Palpatine. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's pretty good, but I feel like once DJ dies, it can pretty much kill the whole deck. And then the other cool one I played against the Iden Callus, which seems right up my alley, which is just Iden. And
Someone told Shane you could play villain red.
Yes, it seemed pretty good because you can all the action cheating you can do. Military camp, just get in there, get out, roll damage. Seems fun. Callous power action slows you down a little bit, but I feel like if you're going quick enough, it's fine. Put seasoned territory in there and you're good.
There you go. Yeah, well, that was one of the decks I texted Shane the other day. I was like, hey, I know you don't play competitive too in Destiny, but we're just doing casual janky stuff. If you ever want to come over, I'll build you Callous Hide and you can play that. So we'll see if that gets him out. Who knows? But yeah,
not likely.
Yeah, not likely.
He texted me today to play Fortnite.
Same, dude.
Yeah, so we need a fourth.
Well, I play with him, my wife, and his wife all the time.
That's cute.
It's I've never spent money on Fortnite until they put Star Wars stuff in it, and I was like, I want that skin. I want to be Finn. I want to be the Stormtrooper. And I bought V-Bucks. Somebody saved me. Oh, I felt dirty saying that I bought V-Bucks.
That's the most disgusting sentence I've ever heard you say in my. I bought V-Bucks.
I think I want to hurl.
Someone has been using my account, and Jack texted me and was like, why are you level 53 in Fortnite? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't played in like 3 months. And I found I logged onto my account, and there's like 180. Like someone had hacked into my account, has been leveling for me? ? I don't know.
Yeah, like went to the leaderboard, and you can check people's like total score, and Brian's like way at the top. Yep. Like, dude, you could have like told us that you play Fortnite. It's okay. And you're like, what? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe it didn't reset from previous seasons because it just launched season 2, and you log in and you had all the gear and level. I was like, what? And you're like,
yeah,
oh.
Someone had changed my all my customization stuff around. I was like wielding a giant pickaxe that had a piece of birthday cake on a fork or something. I was weird. It was super duper weird. I don't know. Not a fan of Fortnite. Just saying.
Well, anyways, Brian and I have had a chance to play. The first week we didn't really have anybody. It was like it was Monday when it dropped, and then there was Tuesday we played.
By that point, I was like, nah, I'll just play pod racing.
Yeah, I had Thrawn Bibbed. I think that was the only thing that I tried out, which was one of our games on YouTube. But this week I had a blast. Yoda Finn AR is so much fun.
No, it's not. Stop it.
Dude. Well, the game against you wasn't overall like the fun part was playing lats, the lat gunship.
Wow.
Like I AR'd that. And then there was one like round where I got like Finn's dice to resolve like 6 times. It was so much fun with Yoda special chaining into it. Now, granted, I was playing against Blue Hero, which doesn't have like the best like removal cards to like take away those lat dice. But eventually, I got 2 out. So even if you removed 1, I was still able to chain the other. And Finn's die, even though it got errated to resolve or remove it, like Finn's die is still so good. It's 60% good sides. Like I'll take a resource. That's like the worst side I would want of resolvable ones. But the +2 obviously gets removed and the blank obviously gets removed. But like the excitement that I had to play the lat was just immeasurable.
And I imagine if you're playing resistance speeders, that's really nice too. Like, oh, I'll pump this. Here, take a damage from my resistance speeder so I can resolve it and hurt you more again.
Yep. I mean, it's kind of tough. Like round 1, it'd be nice to do, but half the time I feel like I'd just rather heal myself because the damage kind of equals out, I guess. Yeah. Well, no, they'd probably be taking 1 more, but I get to heal 1.
You can run steadfast just for maximum shenanigans.
Yes, you could. I wish that wasn't blue character. I wish that was anybody.
Is it?
But yeah, it is blue because one time I tried to get Shane with that, and he's like, "No." I was like, "Dang it."
Rich. He's like RTFC, buddy.
Yeah, Shane. That's how long ago it was.
Holy crap.
But what I ended up putting. So I mean, the concern of the deck was the fact that if Finn died, I wouldn't have Trooper dice. But as Brian pointed out when I was sitting next to him, he looked at my dice box and he picked up the Resistance Trench Fighter and he's like, "What the heck is this?" I was like, "Dude, I need Troopers, man." And
I was disgusted. I was like, I clearly said a different word in my disgust. I was like, what is wrong with you? And he's like, yeah, no, it's a thing. And I was like, okay, sure. And sure enough, he demolished me. So why do I even question in the first place? But
that wasn't due to Trench Fighters though. And I actually didn't play them because nobody went after Finn first. They're really there for backup to have something for the lat, to like cycle through. And the lat is actually a really good die if you can get the special off once. because then the value just is really good. Like it's pretty good. It's definitely bad, but it's pretty good. But, I had a blast playing that. That was fun. And then I tried Qui-Gon Yoda, which was Blue Here's fun, but Qui-Gon's really weird to play with at times. But Yoda Finn was my takeaway of my favorite deck currently of the short notice on this Balance of the Force. But Brian, have you enjoyed the changes?
So I have not been quiet about my love for Zeb, who is now on the list, and thankfully I can play him with a whole bunch of different pairings, none of which are really good. But I did try Zeb Ray last night, and it felt pretty clean. It's a very fair deck, and basically I used only redeploy weapons. So there was the first game I played, I just shielded up Zeb because he was the target, and it could nothing got through. Like with Ray specials and pacifies and stuff, like I was able to save Zeb for a good 3 or 4 turns, and then kind of finish off what was left on the other side of the board. And then if for whatever reason Zeb did end up meeting his end, all the weapons just fly over to Ray, and dealing with a loaded up Ray with full health is rough for the opponent. So I think the deck is fine. It's super fair. Like there's no weird tricks or gimmicks in it. Like I didn't put it's a local, so I didn't really put action sheety stuff in there. I didn't put better upgrades or supports or anything like that in there. It could be something, maybe, I don't know, maybe a 1.5, maybe a tier 2. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. I haven't really. I mean, my deck list, my DB list, looks like a jumbled up mess because I've got a bunch of different theories going on right now.
Yeah.
Haven't had time to test any of them, but I have been looking into Tickle Palp. Seems interesting to me. I think Flockton was mentioning that before because of all the specials, and it just makes sense. I was looking into Rex clones and stuff like that, but I've only tested that one deck, so I think there's a lot of possibilities to test out while we're waiting for covert missions. Like, obviously, I'd rather have covert missions, and I'm not going to jump on that ship right now, but this is a nice placeholder for the time being, and it's helped us keep things fresh. So
I think that similar to what we got in the Infinite Holocron way back when, the dramatic reduction in points of these characters that a lot of people liked but weren't really able to do anything because of their clunky point costs, has now really transformed them into, hey, this good character is now a playable character.
Did you guys play any of that? Any Infinite after the negative balance of the Force?
absolutely not.
Not even a little, unfortunately.
Infinite does not appeal to me at all.
I feel like it would have to almost be like what we do, like where we're playing in my basement, Brian, with like some friends and everybody we know, where we could just agree upon like, all right, no degenerate stuff. Because like I just legitimately have no interest in Infinite at all. And the Balance of the Force negative didn't care at all for that. So I'm really glad that they brought it into Standard. And I will say I was against it because I did feel like it was a Pandora's box. But if they keep it something like this, where it's like the end of the cycle before they rotate, like I could get into that. I could be okay with that. I would just be frustrated if like a character got released and a month later people are like, let's negative bounce the Force him. Like he's not very good. He's not seeing play. And it's like, well, let's wait. And if he's still not played right before he rotates out, then you can bounce him. I like that.
I mean, I will say that I absolutely would have wished that this would be the meta going into the Prime this weekend, because I'm just, I'm ready. I think a lot of people are, and I think that this would have been great a month ago. But, I guess I'll be grateful for what I have, and thanks, FFG.
I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say that after doing well. So it's part of like, thanks for giving me an extra weekend of that. But
I've done really, really poor this season, and I don't know. That's mostly on me, But also, like, I feel like, I can only get fisted off the table. I can only get True Stealth fisted off the table turn 1, and lose rounds that I've had to claw my way up, where people are just like, "Unga bunga," caveman brave. like, don't fist. Oh, I hate it. It's so
Okay, Alan.
Okay, boomer.
big old unga bunga brain plays over there. I hate it. There's no tact in. Like, you want
You're saying you don't like to get fisted off the table?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
At least buy him dinner first.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, and it's one thing that like. I'm gonna shut up now because I'm just gonna go down a rabbit hole. My point is, I'm good riddance to this meta.
You ready to get no good to me dead fisted?
Dude, I'm ready for Delve Deathfield. That's my meta right now. Palp Delve Deathfield. That's what I'm looking for.
Look at that. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. That is a little more fair in my mind.
Don't you still get to roll in 3 times the time it's played with Pal?
Hey, you shut the hell up.
And doesn't it have some? I mean, it doesn't have any direct, but it can't.
No. Does it have direct? I think it might have.
It's not.
I don't yeah.
No.
Dude, you don't even know your card, dude.
On direct.
Okay, I haven't looked at it in a while. Okay.
Yeah, 2, 3, 3, 4 for 1, 2 discards special. Deal 2 damage to each of an opponent's characters. I mean, that's definitely on par. It's just the downside is that fist never. The downside of Deathfield is that it leaves the table when somebody dies, but you lose anyways when Palp dies, pretty much. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Big true.
No, I think that'll be a really good play. I think Delve will be good with that, and also, I don't know if I Delve Sheehan Mastery, but Sheehan Mastery I think is going to be good.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I'm definitely ready for it to move on. I didn't hate it. I'm fine with it. I just, want something fresh, something for the past 6 months or whatever it's been. It gets old eventually. But yeah, it's been fun. Finn, Yoda, AR. It's coming to you. It's coming to a store near you. Dominate with X-Wings and lats.
That is unlikely.
Mainly lats. All right. Anything else on the topic of Balance of the Force? And holocron stuff? Yeah.
Still more testing.
Yeah.
Day late, dollar short.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's hard for me to even be motivated to test stuff now, too, because it's Christmas. And then New Year's. And then we don't have one till the 11th, is Glen Burnie. So.
Oh, my
And
God.
then,
Wow, that's already.
yeah. And then the 18th is Total Access Games, Todd's store, which we'll be going to and streaming that. So.
Can't wait to not have covert missions for that either.
Well, we got an article today. And
And
that's
the first
usually,
thing I did was scroll to the bottom and look for a release date.
we won't get that till 2 weeks out. But this usually comes a month out. So there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance.
You are very optimistic, my boy.
I would not be surprised if it's there for LVO. So that I wouldn't be surprised if it drops on the 17th of January. And then, well, it wouldn't be legal, I guess, right, the 11th day, but I think LVO might just screw it anyways and just say, let's go. But for tag, I think Todd would do it. If it drops the 10th, I think Todd would do it for the 18th. Which would be cool. But if it drops the 17th, he's not going to do it for the 18th because that would feel bad. All right, who opened the legendaries they needed and,
Yeah, right.
got that stuff. So,
Brian did.
I'm
Brian
going to
would.
open 7 legendaries in a box again. I can't wait.
yeah. That was Convergence, right? Yeah.
That's correct.
Or no. Was it Spark of Hope? Because it was Han.
No,
It was Spark of Hope.
Was it Spark of Hope?
Yeah, it was Han.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. It was.
Yeah. But all right, we got so on that note, we got a spoiler article today. It kind of seems like content creators has stopped. Maybe they pick up in January. I'm hoping that they do. There's a lot of people out there who haven't gotten them, and I think very much deserve them. But for now, we got FFG spoilers for covert missions, and we'll just kind of go through them and just talk about them. A few of these come in pairs, so I think we'll read them 2 at a time and then discuss them. I'm just going to go through the order that FFG has them on their website, just because there's some extra images in there that I want to make sure that we talk to. So if you guys want to go there and follow along that way, that works. But yeah, so the first one I'll read, since I definitely have it up in front of me, is Hera Syndulla, a seasoned captain. She is a character, leader, pilot, and Spectre. She's got a 1 range, 2 range, a focus, a resource, and a blank. She is 9/12. She's a red hero legendary. She has 9 health, and she has piloting, which again, a reminder for people. It says after you activate this character, you may activate one of your vehicles. This character is piloting it. And then she has more text that says, after this character begins piloting a vehicle, you may spend 2 resources to ready that vehicle. So Hera. I love the art, by the way.
Squishy. I do too.
Much better than the last one.
A little squishy for my liking.
Well, thank God DM's a thing where you could pay 2 to ready a vehicle with a whole bunch of equipment. Or mods.
Yes. DM, like, as I know that's been going around a little bit about whether or not you liked it and what it was, but DM existing is good, because if not, she would just go right into a Shadowcaster deck and we would all hate our life still.
Yeah.
Shadowcaster mirrors are not something that I want to do.
Readying it for $2.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. On top of like the R2
Astromech
unit and
ready
stuff. Yeah. And that's a lot of money, of course, but like by round 3 you can, relatively get there easily.
Just play 3PO and then you guarantee it.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, Hera's really good in my opinion. She is similar to Sienna. She's a point more. Sienna was 8/11. But Sienna saw a lot of play because of her. It got changed to a power action as well, but it was pretty much what Hera's was. And I will say Sienna's was better because the fact that it was a power action was more relevant, because you could roll out Sienna. You could get the resources off of her dice, which she had 2 resource sides, and then power action it. Whereas Hera, you have to have the 2 resources to spend to ready the vehicle before you roll her out. So that can make some sequencing things weird and having to hold her back a little bit. But her dice sides are pretty good. And I don't really hate the 9 health. It definitely could, like 10 would feel great, but 9 for 9 is good, and I think 12 is
To me, she
relatively
strikes
on
me
par.
as a very solid single die character.
Yeah. Although her
9
dice,
9 health.
her
Good
dice
ability,
I like.
solid die.
My issue is that she would be such a big target, right? It's like, all right, she's got a pretty solid die. She only has 9 health, and she can reset vehicles. She has 2 dice. All right, let's kill her.
Yeah, I see her with 1. I mean, you can do like a Yoda Hera with like Satine, a single die Satine.
Back to the
rainbow.
like the Legacies meta, the Yoda, Rose, Anakin build. No, Yoda, Rose, Ayla vehicle supports. That was a fun deck.
Was that
Cheap, efficient characters.
Yoda wrote?
Gungan?
The Gungan.
I did that for a little bit, yeah. That didn't take off. But the Legacies was really good, was Ayla, Rose, Anakin. Or no, sorry, Ezra, excuse me. That was good during Legacies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be interested in this, and we'll get into Spectres a little bit more, and kind of how they are. But I will say that people who have played Imperial Assault are making jokes that Imperial Assault's coming to Destiny because Spectres got printed Imperial Assault and they became like super broken. But I am all ready for our Overlord in the Spectre team. I don't know if we'll get there, but we can talk about that a little bit at the end. But Hera's good. Definitely single die. I think she's great value, great die, great ability. But we'll kind of see how she pans out for that.
I like the Ghost too, actually.
You want to read that, Bri?
Yeah, sure. So the Ghost is a 3-cost unique red hero support vehicle. Its sides read 2 range, 2 range, plus 3 range, 2 disrupt, 1 shield, 1 resource. Ambush. After the support enters play, you may activate a Spectre you control. After you resolve this die, you may give each character piloting the support 1 shield. I think this, at the cost it is pretty good. Especially when you add in all the Hera shenanigans, like
yeah,
this gets real good. I think this is the most hype article that has come out about covert missions so far. In my opinion.
What was the other article? Was it like Boba and stuff or something, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, Boba and
Them.
Oh jeez. I have to look.
Coaxium heist, baby.
Oh yeah, Blake
Yeah.
Zenel.
It would spin like Luke and Director Krennic, I think. Yeah, it was Luke, Director Krennic, and Boba were the three that were spoiled before.
I have to look all the way back because the last time we got an article was 1887.
July 16th
Jesus
was the article.
Christ.
At least,
Are you kidding me?
but then we had world spoilers, and then we had
No.
the
Don't
article.
don't give them a pass here. That's
There's one.
write it down. I'm angry. Go ahead.
There is another.
But I mean, like,
I
what do you? You're not going to post an article about cards you don't have.
It doesn't matter. From July to December, when they've posted like 17 articles about Barkham Horror, like stop it, dude. Come on.
they can actually produce and print Barkham Horror. Like, that's a product that people can own.
Yeah, well, that's my. I don't know. There's not really anything that they can do or talk. They should have done Destiny content, yes, but like spoilers, I don't really think that's relevant.
Anything.
I think we could. I think honestly, the community at this point would accept like a bi-weekly, maybe even tri-weekly sit down with Matt Holland, and he could just look at the camera for 30 minutes and just say nothing, and I think we'd be satisfied.
No more embossing say.
Can we just get a live like feed of just him working at his desk?
Or we could do like the Jeff Kaplan when he's sitting in front of like the fireplace and he
It's
sat
like
there
the
for like 10
U-log,
hours.
but,
U-log, yeah. U-log, but Matt Holland, him just sitting there, and every like 30 minutes he
It makes
does
me
something
think.
different.
Two things.
That's amazing.
One, there was a very special guest at the Prime that I was at. First name Lucas. You can guess what his last name was. He may or may not have designed Destiny for a while. So that was kind of cool. He was just like chilling out. I think he was hanging with the Cloud City Roller people, and he was, having a good time.
Yeah, he usually still shows up to events.
I was surprised. I didn't expect it, but he works for Wizards now, I believe. So,
yep.
Unsurprisingly, he's out here in Seattle. And two, what I love about Matt Holland, other than the fact that he plays a crucial role in liaising with the community, is that he reminds me of a guy who used to work, or maybe he still works there. He worked at TCNJ, where I went to college, and his job involved many things, I'm sure. What he was known for was sending out the snow day and snow cancellation emails. So he became just this instant hit among the students because whenever you got an email from him,
that's hilarious.
It was like, yes, snow day activities, snow cancellations.
So he always
and I
brought the
feel
good
like
news.
Matt Holland is, I'm sure, a very important man with a lot of responsibilities, but in our eyes, in the community's eyes, he's the guy who gets to tell us stuff about Destiny. And every time we see him or like see content from him, like our ears perk up and we get happy and we get to have a good time. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah, the ghost.
Hard. It's got ambush.
Yeah, I mean the obvious chain here is when it comes down, you can activate a Spectre, and they're piloting. You can activate Ghost, and you get ambush, and then can resolve those things right there. So that with her, obviously, is good.
Yeah, upwards of 3 dice at a time, easily.
Sabine has piloting as well, and they both have a 1 and a 2 to hopefully pair with that +3. But that also is just 2/2. So
interesting. So the wording on the second ability here is for Ghost is after you resolve this die, may give each character piloting the support 1 shield. Now, I may be behind, but I never thought about multiple characters piloting the same vehicle.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And I guess, is that just a thing? Like, once you pilot it once, you're always piloting it? Or
no, you can pilot an exhausted support. So one of the things that was talked about with this before was Boba and Django are both bounty hunters, and in reference to Slave 1, which says after the support becomes piloted by a bounty hunter, you may deal 1 damage to a character. And then the text on it says both Boba and Django each have piloting. So obviously they both get it with that, and they're both bounty hunters. What that does is that both of them, even if it's exhausted, right, you roll out Boba, you roll out Slave 1, you deal damage. your next action you can roll out Django and pilot the Slave 1 as well with him. And now there's 2 people piloting that thing. One person can't pilot 2 vehicles, but multiple people can pilot 1 vehicle.
Okay, so that's nice in functionality aspects. So Spectre gives you this chance to sort of quickly get its die out there, maybe resolve some good damage with it, and whoever pilots it. Alternatively, if it ends up sitting there for a little bit, you can get some more Spectres in on the show, maybe, and then that die resolution suddenly gives you, upwards of 2 or 3 shields, and then, that's real nice.
Yeah, that certainly changes like some of the sides on there. Like the 1 shield might feel bad, but in reality, it's a 2 shield. And those damage sides are, in essence, like a 3 damage swing, a 3 damage swing, and a 4 damage swing, because you're getting 1 health from that. So I like the Ghost a lot. DM just makes life tough, but I do think smaller swarms can potentially work with maybe 1 or 2 3 cost, and I think one of those should definitely be Ghost because I think it's good. But yeah. All right, who wants the next one?
Flock Daddy does.
And I feel like Jock
I can't read.
I can't read.
All right, Sabine Wren, artistic and resourceful. We got character, pilot, Spectre, 10-13 for 10 health. She's a yellow hero character. She's a rare. And she's got 1 range, 2 range, 1 shield, 1 resource, a special, and a blank. She has piloting. And your special says deal 2 indirect damage to an opponent or 3 indirect damage instead if you have a blue, a red, and another yellow die in your pool. She reminds me of a worse version of Phasma with the damage sides.
I see that.
That's just too much to do for.
I mean,
That's
it's
special.
like, it's a cute extra thing, but honestly, this die might as well say deal 2 indirect damage.
Yeah.
Special.
Yeah, which I'm okay. Like, I think you're just okay living that. And it's like, oh, if I get 3, that's cool. But you're not going to, like, leave all these dice out in case you just get destroyed by removal. But, I mean, the one thing, too, is that they're pushing is like the Spectre cell. So right now we got Sabine, we got Hera. And so if you can get into a 3 wide of these decks, whether or not it can be, if you get to the 5th die or if you just do 4, ideally you could put, Sabine, Hera, and Ezra together, and you're starting with all 3 dice on top of any, upgrades or supports that you might play that might be different colors. I don't know. There's
Like
probably no.
Sabine, Ezra, Hera is a 4 die start, and that's 3 colors.
Yeah, and so that's
Right off the
something. And Ezra, that him with his lightsaber is
Blue
a
Ezra,
good,
of course.
good combo, and yeah, Blue Ezra, of course. I like him with his saber. His power action to draw stuff is relevant too, so not bad. But yeah, I do like Sabine, but I wouldn't bend over backwards to try to get to that 3 indirect side or 3 indirect off the special. Also want to note that just because you're a pilot doesn't mean you have piloting. I don't know, just noting that. But she does have piloting and is a pilot, so there you go. All right, Flock Daddy, do you want to take this next one, or can you still not read?
I still can't read.
Eldis, you want to take this next one?
The TIE Fighter? Sure. Sabine Wren's TIE Fighter. Unique yellow hero support. 2 cost. Die sides 1 ranged, +2 ranged, +2 range, 1 disrupt, 1 resource, and a blank. It also has ambush, and it has the text. After this die modifies a Spectre die, you discard a card from your hand to roll this die into your pool. I like it. I think it's a solid 2-drop support. The ambush, again, can lead you into just like some quick piloting rollouts if you want. The ability to keep that die going, +2 range is nothing to sneeze at, and so far, the majority of our Spectres have good range sides, a good amount of them at the very least. So the odds of it modifying one and then getting that additional rollout is appealing.
Yeah.
It's a little meh. But I like it. It's not world shaking or by any means, but I think it's a solid 2-drop support.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I think you probably run it, but it's not like, man, if I don't find this, I'm going to lose the game type thing. Brian, Flock, any other extra thoughts on this? Sabine Wren's TIE Fighter.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good 2-drop. I think that like I said, I think this article is really hype. I'm pretty excited about everything in here. Actually, maybe not so much the next card, but
What?
the first 4 are. I'm sorry, did I flock and wake up? Did you good?
Did you
I
read
just
the
have
card?
different opinions than you, I guess.
Actually, yeah, that does bring up a good point. We did inadvertently miss 2 other cards kind of in this little chunk in the article. One of which is Custom Paint Job, which is a 0-drop upgrade mod, no less. It modifies vehicles. And after you play it, you can choose a color. The attached vehicle and its die becomes that color. And then you can reroll up to 2 dice. That's a spicy way to turn one of your supports into another color. Obviously plays well with Sabine's special. I'm sure there's some other cool implications that can be thought of here, but that's the immediate one. And then there's the plot. So -1. Ooh. And it says include only if each character on your team is a Spectre. I like it. I like it already. Gives me temporary truce vibes. I mean, obviously, it gives us what is it? No allegiance. Then is the -1 if everyone's neutral. Just one if it -1 plot that if everyone's neutral, they get +1 health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I dig this. I like. I think again it builds on to what they're presenting to us, which is you want to play the Spectres together, and now where you could do that even easier with a sweet -1 plot that has 0 downside, other than you're building a theme team that you're already planning on building, I assume.
Yeah, they kind of naturally go together. Although I guess there's no real natural pair between like Hera and Sabine. Like there's nothing they do that really plays off each other.
I like this with say like Ezra and Zeb.
Dude, Zeb's now 13
Or-
points, dude. There you go.
Yeah, nice.
I will say, like, on to the note of DM and supports and stuff. I'm very much glad again that DM exists because custom paint job would be a great thing to go with the caster, simply because it's 0 cost and it's a mod that is free, and then you can resolve the die for less, paying 1 less. So I'm glad that.
Reroll it if it's on a bad side.
Yep, exactly. So glad that doesn't exist. The Spectre team is certainly interesting, or Spectre Cell, sorry, as you mentioned. And it also makes me wonder if we are getting any. Well, we got Ezra. Was he last set? No, he was conversions. So we have him this block, so we won't get him. Chopper came out this block. So I wonder if we're getting a new Zeb and a new Kanan this set as well.
I'd certainly assume Kanan, at the very least.
Yeah, I would
shocked
hope so.
if it didn't be Kanan.
Because we haven't had him, Sabine, or Hera since they rotated. Ezra's on his 3rd one, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Blowing by everybody.
Third one, 2 different colors. Look at him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited. Spectre Cell, I love Rebels, so this is just going to be something that I feel like I'm always going to have this deck built and trying to just like figure out what the best combination of them is with the -1 plot as well. So I'm stoked for it. None of this seems game breaking or like potentially high, but certainly a -1, like having a 31 point team could be very relevant. So
Yeah, exactly.
All right, on to the next one, which is Elric von Reg. Did I say that right? I believe I did. Elric von Reg. I actually don't even pay attention into the show to how they exactly say it. But,
Is this Resistance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Major Baron. So he's 13-16 red villain with 12 health. He's a character pilot. His dice sides are 1 range, 2 range, 3 for 1 range, 1 disrupt, 1 resource, a blank. He has piloting, and his text says, while one or more of your characters, or one or more of this character's character dice are in your pool, its piloted vehicle support and upgrade dice cannot be removed by an opponent's die. It seems pretty good. I can dig it.
Built in
Wait, so affects his
Laser
die,
turret.
so they can still remove with a card?
So you can still remove his dice, and then you can remove the support's die.
Okay.
Basically, triple laser turret on.
So it is.
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You just said. I heard you say instead of effects, you said die. So I was just confused.
I like. So it looks good, but I also like. I think I said this last week. But I don't like support characters that are middle. Like, I really want to like Lando. I really want to like Wedge and all that. But like the middle support decks, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't do much. For me.
Typically in any meta, we've seen to date, support decks thrive on 3 wide.
Right. And so like I don't think I personally want to run him. Even at 1 die 13 is a little tough to make work. I don't know. I could be wrong, of course, as usual. You know, I usually am, but me personally, not my style.
I'll say the one thing that I feel like he has going for him over some of the other middle ones, because generally, yeah, I mean that's been pretty bad. But like, you look at like Biggs, or sorry, not Biggs, Wedge, and it's like if he doesn't really have support, he's not really doing anything. Like he's got a +3 modified side and a 2 indirect, so he's not really doing damage. Whereas this guy for 16 has like all these direct damage sides and can punch pretty hard, and then on top of that. If you get a support or 2 out, like them not being able to be removed is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, I still stand by what you just said is that middle piloting support decks really haven't been great, but we really haven't seen like a character that is this like aggro while being a piloting support type character. So he feels a little different, but I feel like he's going to end up falling into that same trap. But he does have a TIE Interceptor, which is the next card on our list. Brian, you want to read this?
Sure. It's a 3 cost. Elric Von Rig's TIE Interceptor. Sides are 2 range, +3 range, 2 indirect, 3 disrupt, 1 resource, 1 blank. Support vehicle. Action. If Elric Von Rig is piloting the support, remove this die to discard an opponent's vehicle from play that costs equal to or less than the value showing on this die.
Yeah, Villain really needed more ways to blow up our stuff, right?
Yeah, I just this just feels so annoying to me. Like I just the power level of Villain is continually increasing. While like I looked at the hero stuff and I'm like, oh wow, that seems fair. Like I just stop with all this. Like it's clear you have a favorite child. Stop treating a hero like the redheaded stepchild.
It's not even just damage, right?
Nope,
remove this die, discard equal to the cost. So that 3 disrupt could literally just discard your ghost.
Yeah. It's got 2/3 sides. Like, that is bonkers.
Yeah.
I love the idea that you compare him with, like, Maul or Mythol and just be
everything.
absolutely atrocious against opponents' vehicles. Just like, ugh, I hate him.
Yeah.
We need DM. Of course, like, in a world where DM exists, it's like, why would I ever do this?
Why would I use one of my dice when I can just 0 cost just blow something up?
Take a little bit indirect.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for that reason, like sometimes sacrificing like your dice doesn't get them anywhere. So it's not like an overall busted ability, but it is just kind of funny that Villain gets another way to deal with supports while Heroes is just kind of...
Hey, you still got Vandalized, boys. Have fun. Remove all your dice.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Convergence, dude.
Okay. I guess with Spectres, that's finally good.
Spectres, yeah.
I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
There goes the TIE Interceptor. There you go. There's 3 right there.
Yippee!
With your 31-point team.
How much does Convergence cost?
2.
Okay. Yeah, but like, fine. Moving on. I could about it all day, but I won't.
You could do that for literally anything.
You bet you're behind. I could. Sorry, I just realized that cost you more editing, so I censored myself there.
Appreciate that. This next one, we have a red villain diceless character, the Imperial Pilot. It's 6 points for 7 health. Character pilot has piloting, and the power action says if this character is piloting a red vehicle, turn its support die to any side. It's villain red, if I didn't say, and uncommon as it is diceless. So this is red villain's first diceless character. right? Yeah, they haven't gotten
Yeah.
one. Seems
Fine.
fine. I mean,
Yeah,
6 points for access to red villain, and 7 health, and the piloting shenanigans and stuff seems fine.
And I like it.
Um,
To, uh, your villain red for 6 points, but it is very focused, so it's not just like, oh, here, let me splash this dink, just so I can play like a rainbow deck or something. Like he will be literally useless if you're not messing around with vehicles, which I appreciate.
yeah,
yeah, it's where you can just drop the Hoth Trooper anywhere.
Yeah.
This feels a little bit more restrictive.
yeah, and the Hoth like immediately gets value, and it's just boom, activate,
Right.
Boom,
Um,
activate.
do damage, boom,
Boom.
bam.
Boom. Were you looking for this?
But yeah, I don't really know how much play he'll actually end up seeing, but seems just fine. Next one I'm excited about. This card I
Yeah.
think is going to be pretty good.
I love this.
Eject. It's in a 0 cost gray neutral event. It's an uncommon. It has ambush, and it says discard a vehicle you control to heal 2 damage from one of its piloting characters and give that character 2 shields. So late game, this is just like a 4 health swing.
Yeah,
Like-
so here's what you do. You
Oh,
play
Yep.
Pod Racer for 1,
Yep.
ambush action, play eject,
Yep.
heal 2, 2 shields, boom.
I mean, Pod Racer is like one of the best things to play with.
You could play a TLT Skyhopper.
But then you're playing Skyhopper.
But you're blowing it up anyway, so.
Well, I don't want to include something in my deck that literally does nothing except for me to blow it up. Like Pod Racer, you can still play the whole game getting value out of it, but then round 3, let me blow it up.
I love the T16 for this because you can play it for 1 with it, and then it has ambush. And after you play it, you search your deck for or discard pile for a mod and play it on it, and then shuffle. So you you can pay 1 for this T16,
I just think it's hilarious.
get a mod on it, ambush, activate your piloting character, and then immediately blow it up. What to put on it. Just
Yeah.
winning, boys.
Thank you for supporting my idea. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
But in non off the wall circumstances, Pod Racers are great. Good job, Flockton. Proud of you. Mainly thinking like, I wonder how good that could be if it makes it slot into Afra. It's a tight list, but if I go back to Pods, it's there.
Afra needs to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, get out of here, Afra. No one likes you.
You're playing
Seriously.
Snoke. You're literally playing
Huh?
Snoke.
Yeah, your point. I also play Talzin. Your point.
But even like late
The
game
past
on like blowing up, I would definitely trade like a crate speeder that has already been used to blow it up and gain 4 health basically. I don't know. That seems good to me. I think it'll be relevant. I think it'll be good in piloting decks, obviously. But yeah, it'll feel bad obviously on stuff like Ghost, but will definitely feel great on the 1 cost and 2 cost if you got value out of them already. I think you'll be okay. So, yeah. We got 2 more cards. We got a 1 cost Assail event. It's ambush. Spot a piloted vehicle to remove a die. Pretty good.
I like that they offset the fact that this is a bit of more restrictive removal, being it has to be a piloted vehicle, by giving an ambush. That's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
I mean, they have other cards like this. So, like, you have like automated defense doesn't give you ambush. And
Yeah, this is
usually
a
you're
little harder than automated defense by a considerable amount.
you have
but,
to take
you
an
can
action
you
to
just need
get
to make you
piloted.
just need to make a deck to have automated defense. Where this you have to actually like play a vehicle.
To run
Piloted.
automated defense, you have to run Sentinel Messenger, and that is your baseline.
Or Afra.
Who runs Sentinel Messenger?
Yeah.
You do need to have a right you do need to have the right character in there somewhere.
Jesus Christ. Oh my god.
But yeah, this reminds me of
Got him.
Pinned Down from Empire at War. Spot a vehicle to remove a die. But it does almost feel like this whole article has Empire at War vibes, but a little bit less like crazy. Like spotted vehicle, remove a die, which is such good value. I hated put down. I didn't hate it, but it was just definitely annoying. It didn't get like crazy blown up because vehicles didn't get like crazy for a while, but that was really good. But yeah, and then this last one is License to Fly. It's a 1-cost red neutral upgrade. Attached character gains pilot and has piloting. I don't know.
Get 0 cost. Why?
Yeah, I don't know why I'd ever pay one for this.
It's already eating an upgrade slot. Like, just make it 0.
Yep.
That's like crazy good with pilots. Make it 0.
But then I feel like
I
I'd be
don't know.
running a
It's a
piloting.
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, it helps you with no or near miss. Because you gain pilot. Now you can near miss.
Yeah,
I just don't see myself in a situation where, like Jack pointed out, this is a perfect combination of characters, and I can absolutely not deviate from it. It's too good. But dang, if only this one was a pilot
Why are you
and
running?
also had piloting.
Why are you
True.
running one pilot in a deck, Flock?
What do you mean?
Like, why are you running only one pilot?
Nah, say you do like a 3 with 2 pilots and like something else. It's not a pilot. You can make that another pilot. That way,
So you already have 2 pilots.
Yeah, but what if one pilot dies? Then you only have one. The near miss is just like useless.
Okay,
Right?
but
Yeah, dude.
okay, Boomer.
Now messenger is a freaking pilot. All right.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to run this card just so I can play near miss if one of my pilots dies.
I will. I'll do it. I got you.
Sure will.
Yeah, overall feelings of this article is that, well, it's kind of playing into what I love of Rebels. And so I'm excited for it, but nothing jumps out as like this is going to be busted. But I think certain things will take time to see how they pan out. Like when droids got spoiled, like I know in my mind, like Satine with 3PO and R2 and Faithful seemed really good to me. While people were a little bit skeptical of that, but then obviously great deck builders and like honestly sarcastic go and take Satine droids and do really well with it and stuff like that. So my mind is almost like similar. I wonder if there's something like with Spectres where you really get super value out of that 31 points and you have just a deck that goes really well with piloting and stuff like that can be
Doesn't
broken.
have Sabine in it.
What?
It doesn't have Sabine in it. I'm
Why?
telling you now. It's my hot take.
Hot take?
Yeah, Sabine's not in that 31 points.
I mean, I think she's the second best Spectre.
That's debatable.
I think Hera's the best.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Reset for 2 resources.
What are we arguing about right now? Like, what is happening?
I just don't want Sabine to be good.
Flock-
That's about
Flock
it.
just hates
Like,
Sabine.
I still have nightmares from the last game.
Clock, are you drunk?
Yeah, no.
I don't see, if you're hurting for a yellow Spectre, I don't see Sabine ousting Zeb unless you really want to do piloting.
Big freaking true. Thanks.
I think I would rather have 1 range, 2 range, 2 indirect than a 1, or I'd hate to pay 3 basically, and she's a point cheaper. I know he has 2 more health though with the extra point, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I would take Zeb.
Well, yeah, you would take Zeb literally over anything.
Big true.
All right. Any other thoughts on this article? We got some Patreon questions to dive into.
Let's go for it.
I want it in my hands.
Same.
Please, FFG, stop. Just stop. It's time to stop.
They're toying with us.
Yes, big true.
Yep.
Patreon questions.
All right. First one we got from is Banana Crapshoot. What's a better win to you, the Prime or the GQ Jack? Since they were roughly the same number of players. The Prime probably felt better. 1, because the invite actually matters, and 2, because like winning through Top Cut like feels a little better. Whereas GQ, you just go 6-0, and is like seeing from our Prime, the person who went undefeated in Swiss didn't win. So I don't know. It felt a little better doing that, but yeah, mostly just excited and happy that I got the invite and that our team did well, and it was a good time. So, what's your favorite hero aspect combo to play in Marvel Champions from Banana Crapshoot as well?
Batman.
I don't know anything about it yet. I asked for it's on my Christmas list.
So I guess Eldis, have you played it all?
My answer is Spider-Man.
Mine is Iron Man with Justice. Has been my. I just have a bias towards Iron Man, and he's actually a lot of fun to play, so it kind of worked out. But I want to give a quick shout out though to the side scheme that is Banana Crapshoot and Tommy. They're starting a podcast for Marvel Champions. So if you haven't, go check out the side scheme. They just put their first episode up earlier this week. Or Friday, actually. This past Friday. Smurl of Smurley of Smurley. Favorite artist album song of 2019.
He literally wrote them out phonetically, and you got it wrong.
Okay.
That's a tough one. Like that. Panic at the Disco. Where do we go when we fall asleep? And Into the Unknown, but the Panic at the Disco version.
Mine is Sit on My Face by Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh. Little side note for anyone that doesn't quite understand that, which is anyone but me, Jack and Flocken. As you're wont to do, you have to find ways to entertain yourself in the car. So, Jack was playing some music, and I decided to add in some lyrics of my own to Taylor Swift's. I don't even know what that song's called.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't know. What the hell's it called? What the hell's it called? I don't even know. The one with the sit on my face. So anyway, so we were.
Oh my god!
I laughed a little too hard at it, and if anyone played the Untitled Goose Game, I sounded like the goose from that game when he honks when I laugh. I'm sure Jack will probably find some way to put the video out somewhere to embarrass me and make me sad, so whatever. Anywho, Sit on My Face by Taylor Swift, 2019. Best song.
Is it Blank Space?
That's what it is! There it is, Blank Space.
Is
by
it?
Taylor Swift. I think it is. That sounds right. Right, hold on, I'll pull it up.
Anyway, yeah, it's your next mistake. Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Blank Space.
Oh,
Oh, it absolutely is. Yep. There
there
it
we
is. Make the good guys bad for a weekend.
Yep.
There you go, Brian.
Taylor Swift.
That's
Yep,
Brian's
and have them
motto.
sit on your face. That's how you make it bad.
Absolutely, 2000%.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Kylo Riggs, what's your last minute predictions for Star Wars Episode 9? Brian, you cannot say anything on this topic because you're a mad lad and read spoilers.
I didn't. Well, okay, yeah, and I also got recommended tweets from Twitter today that was like, "Hey, did you know?" I'm like, "Stop it."
And you're like, yeah, I do, actually.
I was like, "I do," and whatever.
Last minute, I hope. So I don't know anything of story, and I don't even know what people want to be spoilers. But I'll say that I hope that it just reverses everything The Last Jedi did.
We're talking about Last Jedi was a great production.
Yep.
Liked it.
Flock, what do you think about Ryan Johnson?
Eldis, you saw.
Yo, Ryan Johnson's the worst, dude. I almost makes me want to curse right now, but I can't. Everyone in the Discord knows what I say about Ryan Johnson.
Did accuse people that still like get mad about Ryan Johnson or hate on The Last Jedi as something neckbeards. Didn't mean to call out Jack like that because he does have a really powerful neckbeard. But I inadvertently did so. So
Wait, when? Just
I'll
now?
come clean on that.
Or
No, we're talking weeks ago.
oh,
Was my initial take on the discussion, and then it became a much more involved discussion about The Last Jedi, and then what like directors do in TV shows. And stuff
Oh,
like
that one, yeah.
oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was real great. Anytime Flockton has a strong opinion, you know it's going to be a good discussion. Real good and informative.
It always happens.
Yeah,
like,
don't
I
even
like
get him started on
start
Tom
something.
Brady.
Like I start something and then you guys just go off on it and like forever, and I just sit back and just like with a smirk on my face and watch you guys go at each other. It's funny.
Flock would mouth kiss Tom Brady. That's all I know.
I have, dude.
Um,
Just like his son.
Dude, I wish I was his son, dude.
Man, I've
What
actually
the-
okay.
It's literally like
so-
5 seconds in heaven,
So
dude.
okay, so
What
I've had like a decent amount of people texting me this week asking me my opinions on Star Wars, which has actually been really funny. Because I guess for some reason I'm an expert to some of these people. But it's been funny that there's always just been the pushback and tension. But of the 5 people I've talked to who are all casual Star Wars fans, almost all of them just did not enjoy The Last Jedi. But one of them, and I quote, "I hope they go back to the prequels like they had when we were growing up because those were great." And I was like,
Well, they
my
were.
God.
See, this is the kind of company you keep.
No, this is somebody I ran into at Wawa.
Yeah, this is the kind of company you keep. First they ask you about Star Wars, then they ask you about spiritual guidance, Jack. I mean, really, you're becoming a leader in multiple communities, and I think you have to be prepared for the kind of dodgy sort of folks that you'll come across
Like Flockton.
when that happens, like Flockton.
I've rewatched all the prequels at this point. It was like this week, and I gotta say that yikes.
Man, they just get me
Remember
so depressed. They had so much potential. There was so much good story there. Jar Jar Binks had the potential to be a revolutionary character, and
So
they
I don't
dropped
even
it.
care about Jar Jar at this point. Like whatever. Like he's fine. He's there. But like there's so much that could have been done better. And
Dude,
I'm
he
just-
pretended to be a Jedi in the Clone Wars TV show. It's awesome.
Well, like watching Clone Wars makes the prequels feel
Started on
even
with the
worse.
queen of an entire planet in Clone Wars. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's a G.
Side note, I
He's
love
friend.
that midichlorians haven't been mentioned in any Disney thing. At all.
As they shouldn't.
Yep.
Hey,
Hey, kid, come take this DNA
God.
test.
Hey, let me clean up your scrape. Hey, get his DNA.
open your mouth. I'm gonna take a cheek swab.
Any other predictions for episode 9?
It's good. Clones. It's all gonna be about clones. Star Wars will have inadvertently become a clone-based science fiction narrative, but I think that's fine. I think there's a lot of cool options there. It'll help, I think, tie in the prequels more because I mean, obviously they had one goal in mind, which was to reach back and sort of fill in the spaces up to the original trilogy. Did not do that well, and I think it would be a kind gesture to the narrative that they built, such as it was, to incorporate this big underlying theme, which was clones and cloning. And it would pay off a lot of things that, the prequels could not do on their own.
Yeah, I mean, they have a lot of questions answered on their own, too, so it'll be interesting how that goes. Kyler Riggs also asked, if Callus didn't have a power action, but instead his die was 2 range, 3 melee for a resource, 3 melee for a resource, 1 resource, how would that change your impressions of the card?
Sorry, which card?
Callus.
Callus. I mean, I guess that'd be fine.
Maybe I feel that's worse. It's 2 paid sides.
I don't know. That's a monster. That's a pretty monster die.
A 2,
Yeah,
2,
for
3,
15?
3 for 15
2,
with
3,
12
3.
health and a character or trooper leader.
That's a monster die,
Yeah, it seems pretty good.
no matter how you slice it.
But 2 paid sides.
There's no pleasing you then.
He's
make money.
not Talzin, dude,
I mean-
all right? Look, Talzin has no
drop
paid
the points
sides.
at 9-12. All right.
No paid sides.
Play him with Talzin. Also,
We're profitable.
Nah, that's too original.
Okay. Inception says we need a good Mando recap from someone that understands it's not a filler series. Sorry, Brian.
I never said it's filler.
You're
Yeah,
disclosed
Brian.
from this. You and Flock
said
have
it-
been
I
excommunicated.
said it was feeling a little
This is-
slower.
Uh-huh.
this is the Sinister Peace hot take all over again.
Oh my
This
god, I
is-
never said it was
Come
filler.
on.
I will die on this hill. I never said it was filler.
We're sitting there like Wednesday night. I don't know. Or no, it wasn't Wednesday. It was Monday. And Shane and Flockton and Brian are just like, yeah, it's just taking really long. The episodes aren't doing anything. I'm like 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
But it's 8 episodes. Like if it's 8 episodes a season, I feel like it's not filler. I'm not saying it's filler. I'm just saying that I would like a quicker pace.
Well, I will say that some of the episodes struggled more than others to sort of establish the A plot, the overarching plot for the season. The episode that dropped last night / early today, I've watched it. Absolutely incredible. That's all I'll say about it because, spoilers.
Agreed.
But, oof, what an episode. Boy, howdy.
Yep.
So I found exactly what Brian said.
Am I wrong?
He said he's with.
Let's go back
well,
to the tapes.
He said, I'm with Shane, 8 out of 10, maybe 7.5. Started off strong, but I feel like they're dragging their feet now.
Yeah.
That's not filler. That's not saying that.
Translation, this show is filler.
I never said that.
Disgusting.
If they're dragging their feet, that means they're doing stuff that isn't the main plot that you want, which means it's filler.
No, that's incorrect. You are making assumptions.
What is that then?
Stop putting words in my mouth.
If they're not doing the main plot that you want, what is it?
I didn't say they're not doing the main plot that I want. I just said they're going about things a little slowly.
What things? The main plot.
Well, I don't understand. Like, I don't know what their direction is. So, which is fine. Like, I don't have to know what their direction is. But I don't know. It just feels slow.
I think people just need to enjoy the adventure that we're getting.
I'm enjoying it. I never said I wasn't enjoying it.
10 out of 10.
I wouldn't say that though.
10 out of 10.
All right. That's fine. I'm glad you're enjoying it, bud.
11 out of 10.
All right, let's not get gratuitous here.
12%.
Next question is...
He's bouncing and forcing it.
12%.
Bouncing and forcing it up.
Next question.
Have you been avoiding spoilers
I get it.
for episode 9, if at all?
Apparently not.
From Jedi Geek Girl. I have been. I haven't really watched any of the trailers either.
What? You haven't watched the trailers?
Not really.
Oh, too much spoiling. Oh, by the way, Palpatine's back.
Yeah, I mean, I
No
saw
one's
that.
ever really gone.
How dare
No
you?
one's ever.
I
How dare I?
saw the roll it again. I saw that. But like all the recent ones that have been popping up, I haven't bothered to watch. I didn't watch the one at the end of the
most recent
Mandalorian.
one. There was, I don't know if it's exclusive or not, but there was one that sort of pops up for you to check out after this most recent episode of Mandalorian.
Disney
didn't
Plus
bother with that
exclusive.
either.
Yep, and I haven't been looking at really reviews or anything. I've been trying to stay relatively away from it. I've heard general non-spoiler ones of people, but that's more so been friends telling me about that. I don't really go looking for it. I like to know nothing.
That's not hard.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Ner.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
Jedi Geeker also asked, do you enjoy all the joke questions people ask on your episode, or would you prefer more meatier questions like ABG gets asked? I could care less.
I'm a joke, so it's fine.
Yeah, we have a joke on our cast, dude.
Yeah, we fill that niche.
We're like somewhere in between, like, pretty
Who's
competitive
coming to
and
the
then
GDP
Brian.
for? Who's coming to GDP for really like insightful Destiny talk? I mean, really.
Alan.
Alan.
Yo, Alan,
God
you should
bless
play
him.
Pohan. There you go.
Han
Pohan.
AR
Yes.
out there.
Oh, you know
Let
what?
be known.
You know what I realized?
Han double down. Run 3 copies of Han's Golden Dice.
That sounds amazing. But you know how we talked about how Brian hates female leads?
Oh my
Yes, he does. He
god.
has female leads.
I've never heard someone say the phrase "Mary Sue" with so much vitriol, with so much pent-up rage in my life.
This is something very clear.
Mandalorian hasn't taken his helmet off, so Brian's he doesn't know what to do yet.
I love Cara Dune. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
She lead?
Cool.
I love Cara Dune.
She lead?
I would argue that she's at this point, like,
A strong supporting
I don't
character.
know, maybe. She's a strong
No,
supporter. Yeah.
Physically, she's very strong.
Mhm.
She's ripped.
Big true.
Yeah.
Big.
I'd let her choke me out for sure.
Okay.
Oh my god.
If Vegas was this weekend, what are you playing and why?
I'm not. I'm tired of this game. Come take me home.
Raylo, because I'm not good enough nor smart enough to build or play anything else right now
Palpatine
on this
motto.
short notice.
I'll probably play the Snoke deck because it didn't get hit at all, and it's still really, really good.
I'd say Affer.
And Delphis, my guy.
Everything we played this weekend.
You didn't Delphis with Snoke. You didn't even
No.
run Fist.
Okay.
No fist.
Okay, I just
No delve.
assumed.
You had 1 mega, but even that didn't feel great.
I had 1 mega. I could see myself cutting the megas, honestly.
I think the
Completely.
craziest thing that you cut was counter intel. I think you're crazy.
No,
Yeah,
probe's
man.
so much better, dude. Yeah, how many times I was able to probe and get like
Why
easy
not
pickings
both?
and flee the scene out or whatever? It's
pretty
so
tight.
good.
Why not both?
Space is pretty tight.
Yeah.
It's hard to fit all 4 of those in. You could do like a 3 and a 2-in-1 split, but I would do.
I
I would do 2
probably see
counter.
myself with droids not being around so much. I might see myself playing a little bit more mitigation, so maybe like 2 easy pickings or something like not easy pickings, entangles or something like
Judge.
that, or
In reality, dude, I'd just play Yoda AR. Finn. There we go.
yeah, big true.
Number 4, what do you like in Star Wars that maybe isn't seen as popular? For example, the holiday special. And this again is from Jedi Geek Girl.
Oh, episode 1 of the Phantom Menace.
I mean, what? I guess you could call me a hipster, or not a hipster, but a bandwagoner, because I like everything pretty much. I don't know, that's popular.
Yeah, I love The Last Jedi, so that might be my strongest opinion. I will say this: I recently finished up the Clone Wars, the CG one. They came after Gendy Tartakovsky's masterpiece
That
by
one was
the
really
same
good,
name.
Yeah, I agree.
The fact that it's not officially canon anymore makes me weep
Mm-hmm.
because it was just so excellent.
Yep.
But the CG Clone Wars, I think, managed to do something that the movies could not, which is make these characters enjoyable.
Make me care about any of
It
them.
makes Anakin, yeah, it makes you care about them. It's still you still sort of have to see the Jedi just be just absolute idiots when it comes to dealing with the Sith. Like they just can't handle Sidious. He's playing chess and they're playing hopscotch. Like they're
playing
nowhere
like,
ready for what he's doing.
hit the hoop with the
But-
stick.
Yeah, they're playing stickball and he's throwing the football 70 yards downfield for touchdowns.
I was talking to Jack about this the other day. Like, why did they send? They're like, oh, we know where General Grievous is. Send like 4 clones and a Jedi. When the dude is taking on like 4 or 5 people at a time with ease.
Because Jorge Lucas, didn't actually know anything about General Grievous. He made a name. He probably gave us Brave gave him like a rough design. He's like, he's a robot.
Oh,
And
wait,
then,
we killed Maul?
other people.
Here's Grievous.
Other people made
Anyway,
him
here's Wonderwall.
an interesting and relevant character. And George was like, yeah, sure, whatever. One. And, well, actually, 1v entire droid army and him.
Yep.
And then Obi-Wan uses a blaster and says how uncivilized, despite, in the Clone Wars cartoon, clearly using blasters all the time.
Yep.
Because he's pragmatic. Not some stuffy British guy like George thinks.
I love Clone Wars Obi. He's so good.
Spends a lot of time getting his ass beat.
Oh, I love it.
And I think, which is great because it really explains his clear CTE symptoms in A New Hope. He doesn't remember who Qui-Gon is. He's aged dramatically because he probably spends his days wandering around outside under 2 suns with 0 UV protection.
I think stormtroopers are accurate. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Hello there.
it explains so much. He was concussed at least 2 to 3 times an episode.
I mean, Maul kicked him in the face like 7
Yeah,
times.
I watched Maul and Asajj beat the brakes off this man.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, for sake of finishing this episode,
Oh right, yeah, we're doing an episode.
Wait, we're doing an episode? Did you hit record yet?
You're recording this? Oh
no,
no.
no. We'll start over here. But to answer that question, I'll say for some reason I feel like I've seen a lot of hit back on episode 6 recently, and people not liking that, but I still think that's really good.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
So
It's a fine movie.
I think it's it's great. It's probably the weakest of the original trilogy if you look at it.
Brian
Like,
hates it because
Empire-
Leia comes in and is like a strong female in
Oh
those
my
opening
God.
scenes.
Mary Sue.
I say,
How did you get the
say-
thermal detonator? What happened there?
I dislike Jin one time.
Yep.
You dislike Jin?
Yeah, I dislike Jin. Sorry.
You're wrong.
Okay. Big true.
Wow. What a woman hater.
Yep. That's me. We just
You hate all
lost
women, don't you?
all 7% of our viewer fan base right there.
Shag all women.
So what's your ideal 31-point Spectre cell?
Zeb.
Yeah.
At 10 points each. So 40 points minus 1, so that's 39. 4 Zebs at elite.
E. Sabine, Ezra, Hera, Blue Ezra. I guess I don't even points. Does that add up?
Blue Ezra, Zeb, and then what I'm assuming will be the inevitable Kanan.
Ideally, yeah.
That's
He'll
my
probably
cell. That's a nice melee cell.
yeah. He'll probably be in that 9, 12 or like 10, 13 range would be my guess.
I'd like that.
Kyler Riggs also asked what Jedi Trials team would be better, Ahsoka 2, Qui-Gon 2, or E-Ray 2, E-Yoda 1. I would say Yoda 1, Ray 2.
I agree.
Because then Ahsoka becomes 3 dice, and then you can't resolve any of them because they're all modified sites. I'm just going to skip Shane's question.
Yep.
Yeah, please do.
How many blind
Like Shane.
Jedi can you name?
I can name 2.
I mean, blind Jedi.
Kanan Jarrus and Ram Koda.
I'm going to go with Ki Adimundi because he's literally blind and is the dumbest thing in the world. He's literally the worst Jedi, and I can't stand him.
I will say all of the Jedi because they were blinded by the dark side.
Are we? Is figurative blindness?
It obfuscated their vision to the future. I don't know. There's probably a couple of Milaluka? Yeah, those ones. From KOTOR.
Yeah.
Oh, KOTOR. Yeah, true.
All of them. Miraluka, that's what it was. They were all blind. They had stylish veils. You got to have the one on your team in KOTOR. You could make her a Jedi. She was already, more sensitive and trained. She was a bit Sithy, but play a good guy. She's a Jedi for you. Boom.
Boom.
She had a name.
All right. If us, the host, were Rebels characters, who would you be? The other host decide for you. No repeats.
Floxen's Chopper.
Hey.
That means he's useful.
Get Ben.
It also doesn't say anything of value.
That's also extremely true.
That is also true.
Tom Brady. It's like if Chopper's beeps just said Tom Brady.
Did you guys know that Chopper is voiced by Dave Filoni?
Yeah.
Really? That's fun. I love that.
Little nugget.
Little nugget in there. Well, Brian's obviously Zeb.
Yep. Because
Some
I
muscle.
smell and I'm hairy and I don't do anything useful towards the end.
He's got prehensile feet.
The soft feet are gross. Like actually nasty.
right.
Like
Who are me and Eldis? We don't even talk about Lasat feet.
I think Eldis.
Flock, have you seen the show?
I feel like
Yeah, I
you're-
have.
You want to contribute?
and I feel like Jack is Kanan probably just because he's the leader.
What'd you say about me?
I said you're Ezra.
Oh, Scrappy.
I would say
Kid's gotta
Scott
eat.
Sabine.
The hot one.
Yeah.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 12%, how much of an impact will the 2 new Diceless characters have on the game? Do you think we will get a yellow hero Diceless character in covert missions?
0% and no.
The other one was ours, wasn't it? The other Diceless character?
Yeah, Pike Sentinel, 0%.
Pike.
That's the third time on record anyone's talking about the Pike Sentinel.
Wait, what's the Pike Sentinel?
Okay.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Will Yellow Hero get one? I don't know. Just because one faction did last time doesn't mean the other ones will.
Does the Pike? Let me just double check the Pike Sentinel because I know the Coaxium
Guardian, 6 points for 7 health.
Coaxium plot is ridiculous.
I
You know, a 6.7 health Guardian. I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's not
Does
bad.
it actually have Guardian?
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's
Okay.
a scoundrel.
I was
as
gonna
well.
say that'd be kind of ridiculous if it didn't.
Okay.
Actually, you know, a cheap little scout guardian, cheap little scoundrel guardian. Like, I don't hate that. I don't hate that at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I think it'll see more play than the TIE pilot potentially.
Yeah, I think so.
Imperial pilot or whatever. But there could Yellow Hero hasn't got one, so I'd be surprised if they didn't get one. It could be some form of like a trusted informant type thing, just diceless. Not saying the same ability to look in a hand, but like a non-unique smuggler type thing would be my guess. Any other guesses? Think Yellow Hero's got one?
I'm trying to cycle through all. It's such
It'd be
a
nice
large.
Nice for them to
pool
have an
draw from.
alternative to the Ewoks, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think they already have a diceless one.
Oh,
Though,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
don't
they
think they
got
come out with
Ewoks.
an Ewok.
I don't think they necessarily will. No.
All right, we will see. Why does the West Coast Destiny communities fail to be as good as the players on the East Coast Destiny communities? Because we have Flockton and Allen, and they put us up on their shoulders, and they carried us across the finish line
I got you.
with the jar of piss in hand
Amen, brother.
from Allen.
Amen, brother.
Oh yeah, brother.
Nathan wants to know, when is Brian's percentage going to trend upwards? He should aim for
Never.
69%.
I was really close last night. The game between Jack and I was, I would say, fairly close.
Yeah, you know what Brian does? He picks up a die, he drops it on hit a motive, gets the side where it misses, and he's like, oh, that counts.
You could have re-rolled it. I would have done it. I would have obliged.
Whatever you say, man. I could tell on your face that you needed that.
I sure did. And it never matters because you always end up pulling the dub anyway. So,
X-Wings, baby.
and this feels so bad because I never with X-Wings, even though I get all of them out, and then whatever. It's fine. I'm convinced that your basement has some kind of magnetism
It does.
where it affects your die and not mine.
Tom beat me, dude. Tom crushed my soul.
It's true. Yeah.
Go Tom.
Go,
You
Tom.
posting that video?
Yep.
Sweet.
No, he only posts his wins.
Oh, true. Because then he can't. If he loses, then he has to mark it down. But
Sorry,
if
I
he
only
doesn't
played
post
Brian.
it, then he doesn't lose. Got it.
I'm just so sick of losing to you. Anyway, moving on.
That does remind me, someone at the tournament, of course, obligatory asked me, hey, are you Brian? Indirectly, they said, hey, are you the one in the gameplay videos? I was like, no, that's Brian. But we get that frequently enough. And then they're like, oh, yeah, is he the one who he gets all the bad decks to play? And I was like, yes.
Yes, that's
I
correct.
I like to think of the word as fun decks. Okay.
Are you having fun?
Shut the
I
hell
like
up.
promoting the narrative that Jack makes you come over and then just hands you decks to play. And he's like, all right, I'll be on Afra, and you can be on Mace, Ayla, Profitable.
How about Jar Jar, a little bit of Anakin, maybe some Lor Santeca.
Here's
Holdo.
Gungans. Here's Gungans, and I'm going to play Vader.
Yeah, right.
I've
Just absolutely fiendish.
not dictated what Brian runs. That's his own imagination there that you see, folks.
Yeah, I just like running things that I think will be fun, and then in the end, Jack's just like, I'm really good at building decks. Let me whatever. You're at a bar. Your name is 12%. You're getting intoxicated on some fine Destiny beverages. You hear last call. What is the most exciting card not spoiled that could be in covert missions you'd order?
Who wrote this? Hemingway?
Yeah, no. It is younger than all of us. And he's
What a
very
wild question. I love it.
That's from Malicious Mowlock, by the way.
It's
I would say that because I'm working my way through pretty much the entire, I would call it the cinematic. Shut up. I'll call it the cinematic universe of Star Wars. There are some really great Clone Wars topics and characters and supports they haven't hit yet. I am totally a fan of that whole underwater arc with the Mon Calamar. And I don't remember their names specifically, but the shark villain, I think his name is like Russ, something like that. I don't know.
Russell.
Yeah, Russell. Him, I don't know. Yeah, him might be interested in, or any of the Mon Calamar. Maybe Kit Fish's Padawan.
Riff Tamson.
That's what it is. Riff, not Russ. Close.
That race is called Karkarodin.
I did not know that.
Karkaris. I'm sorry, Karkarodin from Karkaris.
Separatist ambassador.
I liked that the nasty looking spider general.
Oh,
Clone Wars.
Trench.
Yeah, Trench. I just watched that one.
He's got like cybernetic parts. He's got a cybernetic mandible. He goes like a like every now and then.
Well, he was on an art that has been cycled around. That was published by an artist who does Destiny. So there's a chance we could get him. That'd be a cool red villain.
He's a solid dude.
Yeah, I'm excited for anything Clone Wars related since I've just watched a big deal of that, a big chunk of that.
Yeah, I'm excited for. I'm actually excited for the Resistance characters to get in. So I'm excited for Kaz. I'd assume he's coming if Tor's in here.
That's true. Yeah.
And on top of
enjoy
that,
the use of like this, I guess what we can consider like the new expanded universe, this fresh canon, because I mean there was so much before, of course, and now it's sort of in this rebuilding phase of creating all this like interesting and rich content outside of the movies, which again also we're going to be getting for the foreseeable future.
I'd also take Pre Vizsla. He's been really cool lately.
Yeah.
Forgot about him.
That'd be cool. Like just the Death Watch in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you
You'd
go.
have Mandalorian set.
That too, yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably
Baby
come with
Yoda.
that. What percentage alcohol is Brian drinking while casting?
4.9.
Look at that. I don't
Just
believe
nice
you're casting.
Nice little like
Drinking.
light ale, little beer.
Yeah. Little light stuff because it's I have to work tomorrow. So.
I think he's just drinking water.
Yep. Caught me. Big tro.
Throwing darts at
Very
Jin
true.
and every other female lead.
Wait, so Brian, playing Pokemon in Calvin's office is working?
What do you mean?
Don't you usually just go into work and then like go into Calvin's office and then play Pokemon?
For lunch. Yeah.
Oh, they did it all day.
Nope.
Never mind. Okay.
And that's our podcast.
Yep.
All right, we
Yay.
will close out. Do you guys have any other quick thoughts on anything?
Except for Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 7.
Yep. That's big times.
Yes, Flock. I have that pulled up right now, Flockton.
Got it.
Game Shop of Destiny, in case you guys are looking to order, they have Covert Missions pre-orders up as well, and you get free alt art cards with a purchase. And the first 100 orders of Covert Mission boxes or sets are going to receive a Darth Bane alt art designed by Parker Simpson and a Luke Skywalker designed by Brian of Jank It Up Fuzzball. So they're up there. And also they have holiday sales that end December 31st. There's 40% off all single orders, discounted automatically applied at checkout. And again, that's older singles, so Awakenings through Wave of the Force and the 2-player game is up there. But they also have 50% off select newer singles from Cross Galaxy Convergence and Spark of Hope. So yeah, that is on there. If you're looking to get singles, GameShopOfDestiny.com is your place to go. If you haven't followed us on YouTube or anything, we've been posting gameplay videos that we're recording Tuesday nights in the Basement League. So those are up there, and we're pretty much posting one a day through the week on top of the podcast. So 3 to 4 gameplay videos a week is the goal with the podcast. So they are out there, and we're playing some newer stuff this week. So Finn AR versus Ahsoka Yoda was the first game, and tomorrow is Zeb Ray, Brian's up, versus myself. So yeah, those games are up there that you guys can check out, and we have some from last week as well that are thrown up there. So
I just want to let everyone know that Jack organizes his card by number.
yes, and Brian got very offended because his life is not organized at all.
What a friggin' dweeb.
What a serial killer.
I do it by number and set and...
And Brian sits there with his cards all over his desk. He's like, I can't build a deck. It's going to take 45 minutes.
Yeah, if you could see my desk right now, it's a...
I'll literally just be like, hey, make something new, play something new. And he'll just be like, yeah, it's going to be like a process. I can't do it. It's going to take too much time. I'm like, you have like an hour.
I guess it's better. He used to have it like all in his trunk of his car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was better, actually.
I show up to Jack's house, and then Brian Bean is in the trunk of his car with the thing up. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm building my deck. I'm like, you're doing it outside in the trunk of your car.
And then sometimes he'd run into my house with like pockets full of dice, and then he'd be like, oh, I forgot this one. And he's got to run back out to his car to get the dice.
Hey, man, if it works, it works. And it didn't work, but it still happened.
It didn't work.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
No. All right, Eldis, you want to give us a sign off?
Yeah. Nice podcast.
It's like SOLOSOLOSOLO. Living my life, ain't got stress no more. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride. I'm heading out tonight. I'm solo. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo. Solo. Feeling like a star. You can't stop my shine. I'm